Hello my precious little dragons, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Calista and I make videos about books and sometimes beauty. Today is going to be a bookish video. I am going to be doing the Loki Book Tag created by Breakeven Books, and I found it through Kathy Tridthart even though I follow Breakeven Books. I saw that video first. So I am going to take you pretty quickly through this tag. So Loki is one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters, even though recently I have been a terrible Marvel fan and I have watched none of the new shows. So I haven't seen WandaVision, I haven't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I have not seen Loki. I know, I'm a terrible Marvel fan, but I will eventually see it, and I do love Loki. So I'm doing this tag anyway. I mean, there's obviously no spoilers for the show because I haven't seen it. Anyway, so first prompt, a book with a mischievous character. And what else am I going to do except Loki by Mackenzie Lee? He's got a mischief. What do you expect? I probably would have chosen something else, except that I literally couldn't think of another book with a mischievous character. So I went with this. So, there you have it. All right. If you hear more road noise than usual, it's because it got really hot in here and I just needed to open the window because I needed air. And it's a good way to distract my dog, so, you know, there's that. 2. Variant 1. Show a book you have more than one version of. And for this, here are all 3 copies of my Shakespeare's First Folio. Okay, I tend not to collect multiple editions of a single book. Gosh. But I ended up with this partially because I think people know that I just love Shakespeare, and so then they gift me the first folio because they know that I love Shakespeare. This is the first one I got. It is an older edition. I believe it's from 1943. I did have a cover that came with it, but oh no, 1954. So this is a very old copy. My Mimi and my sister found it for me at a thrift store and surprised me with it one day, so this one is like very, very near and dear to my heart. I would never ever part with it. I will probably keep it until I die. Yeah. This one I was gifted a couple years ago on my birthday by my mom, and because that one is old and fragile, my mom got me this one, so it's better just for casual reading because, like I said, that one kind of scares me to read because I want it to survive. So my mom got me this one for my birthday a couple years ago. And then this one, beautiful copy, was a gift from my lovely friend Micah. I believe it was a year or 2 ago at Christmas. I can't remember if, no, it was 2 years ago at Christmas. And gorgeous copy. So I'm happy with all 3 of my lovely editions of Shakespeare's First Folio. Number 3, Variant 2. Show a book series where you own multiple book editions in the series. For this one, I literally only have one answer, and that would be The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini, and I have 3 different editions basically in this series. As you can tell, this is more of your like mass market paperback size. It's very tiny and compact. This is actually the first one I bought, you can tell, because it's very worse for wear. It's like taped together here. But this is like your standard paperback, and then I have the 2 hardcover editions. And I believe all 4 of them are signed, if I remember correctly. Maybe they're not. Hold on. Maybe I didn't have Brissinger at that one time. Must not have. Okay, Brissinger isn't signed. You know, I think it's just because I didn't want to carry Brissinger. That was really stupid of me. I should have gotten all 4 of them signed. Inheritance, it was on the book tour for Inheritance, so I got these 3 signed. Yeah. I'm not too like specific about like I have to have the exact same edition of everything. I'm okay with having unmatching editions. Number 4, Prune, a book that you recently got rid of or are planning to get rid of. Okay, this one was a no-brainer because I almost never get rid of books. This is going to be the exception. I just haven't gotten rid of it yet. Deathstalker Rebellion by Simon R. Crane. If you have not seen my blind date with a book vlogs that I did in February, it's kind of like my Valentine's Day sort of thing that I had going on. Because, you know, I date people and you can do blind dates with books. This is the quintessential bad date. Like, it's a terrible blind first date. Like, honestly, just if you want to see my real, true reactions to having to suffer through reading the first chapter of this book, which, by the way, is a sequel, but it didn't even matter because the entire first chapter tells you everything that happened in the last book. So, it didn't even matter that it was a sequel. Gosh. It's just really, it's really, really, truly terrible. I need to get rid of it. I am ashamed that I own it, but I also don't want to burden anyone else with possibly owning this, so I might honestly just use it for kindling. It's that bad. Okay, number 5, Enchantment. A book that had you under a spell. In other words, a book that you could not put down. So most recently, I've had a couple like this in the past few months, but the most recent one was literally like a week ago. This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. And I mean, I knew like from the cover that this was going to be like a phenomenal book, but it was like full 5 stars for me because it's literally, it's inspired by, get this, The Secret Garden, Little Shop of Horrors, with some Greek mythology thrown in there, and like adorable lesbian mothers and a bi daughter. I mean, it's a perfect concoction of a story. I didn't realize it's going to be a series, so I am eagerly awaiting the sequel. I gotta know what happens because that ending, oh my gosh. Things happen. But it had me under its spell. I mean, I read like the first few chapters one night, and then like I binge read the rest of the book the next day. So that's what I got for you. Had me under its spell, which fits for a book about, you know, powers and witchcraft and Greek gods. So, you know, there's that. All right, I wish my iPad would stop going to sleep. Number 6, Timekeepers. Name a series that has stood the test of time. Bonus points if it's a trilogy. Is anyone surprised? You should not be. You should not be surprised. This is my final answer. Lord of the Rings has stood the test of time. It is beautiful and perfect in almost every way. It's just that good. It's the father of modern fantasy for a reason. A reason. It's perfect. Well, not perfect, but you know, it's amazing. You should read it if you haven't read it. It's lovely and wonderful and beautiful. Okay, time to stop geeking out. It's fine. If you expected any other book, I don't know what to tell you. Number 7, Asgard. A book with royalty or godlike figures. I have 2 options for this, and I own neither of them. So I'm going to put pictures on the screen like I usually do. The first choice I have for this is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, which has royalty at its center and then people that are worshipped as gods but aren't necessarily gods. But then like they literally have a character called the God King. So I mean, there's a lot of like royalty and godlike stuff going on there. So it totally fits this prompt. Also a really good book, would definitely recommend. I do have a book look on it if you want to check it out. All right, and then another one which I just recently finished reading is Dark Queen Ryans by Ashok K. Banker, and that is the sequel to Upon a Burning Throne. And it is a retelling of the Indian epic, the Mahabharata. I think I pronounced that correctly, hopefully.
Okay, so I did some YouTubing and there doesn't seem to be a standard pronunciation from what I looked at. So I heard Mahabharata, I heard Mahabharata. I don't know. If someone else has more knowledge than me, feel free to correct me in the comments.
That one is chock full of gods, demigods, royalty. I mean, there are some commoners in there, but it's mostly focusing on like your royal figures because it's very much a political intrigue, like wars and gods and kings sort of style of a book. So you're going to focus far more on your royalty and god and demigod characters than pretty much anyone else. But yes, that would also fit this prompt quite well. Number 8 is Daggers. So a book that cut you deep and made you emotional. My answer for this? The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. I sobbed the entire last 4 chapters of this book. It just, you knew it was coming. You know everything that's coming, and it still made me sob. It's just so good, but it's also wholesome and beautiful, and the writing is gorgeous. And I mean, it's not, there's parts of this book that are really truly heart-wrenching and sad, but it's also beautiful and shows you a story of like friendship, not just between a cat and this human, but also shows you like the value of love and just how much like the friendship of one person can like touch a variety of different lives. I don't know, it's a beautiful book. If you haven't read it yet, it's quite short. I would highly recommend it. All right, and last but not least is 9, Illusion. A book that you bought because you thought the cover was pretty, but it ended up being bad. So I don't actually really have a book that truly fits this prompt because I don't really buy books just because they have pretty covers. Yeah, I just don't. Sometimes I read books because they have pretty covers, but it can't just be that because I have to like the synopsis in order to read a book. I will say the thing that probably is closest to fitting recently is the book Dead Girls by Nekesa Afia. And it's a mystery that's set in like the roaring 20s Harlem. I don't know, it's just kind of mediocre. I appreciated what it was trying to do, but it just didn't, the execution wasn't very well done in my opinion, and it was really heavy-handed on the foreshadowing, which I just didn't appreciate. Like, it did a lot of stuff like, this character would regret that they said that, or this character would wish that they had asked this question or done this, and I'm just like, okay, well, telling me that ruins all of the mystery and undercuts any tension that you were building in the story. So it really just made the entire mystery fall short for me. And I was like really excited about the book because heck yes, I love mysteries. I love diving into like more diverse mysteries, and I was really excited, and it was also the author's debut, so I like don't want to be like super harsh on it because she could definitely improve with time. You know, maybe make some of the characters a little less flat, maybe improve like some of the plot devices used, stuff like that. But yeah, that book just fell pretty short for me. So yeah, that is all of my questions. I hope that you enjoyed my little romp through the Loki tag. I was going to throw, so I have like a blazer that's like a Loki blazer, but it's just too hot to throw on today, and I already wore a blazer earlier for the book look I did for this look, which, oh, by the way, did I mention that at the beginning? If I didn't, I did a book look on this look, which is why I'm looking very vampy 90s today. And it was for the book Madam by Phoebe Wynn. So if you want to check that out, it'll be linked up here or up here, because I never literally ever know where the links are going to be. So there's that. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Stay magic, keep reading, and I love you all so much.